Welcome to this webinar, Celebrating Milestones, Peace Education Program Success Around the World. Thank you for joining today. And also, thank you to all of our generous donors who make such a meaningful difference in many ways by supporting the Prem Rawat Foundation and the Peace Education Program. My name is Jocelyn Brain. I am the Prem Rawat Foundation's Peace Education Program Support Manager. I am from Canada, and I am joined by Renuka Kandia, Facilitator and Support Representative for Malaysia and Singapore, and Rajneesh Kumar, Facilitator of the Peace Education Program in India. Our technicians today are Sunita, who is supporting us from India, and Mamta, joining us from Indonesia. Today's webinar is in English only. The webinar on March 1st will have interpretation into Spanish and French. After March 1st, a replay will be released with subtitles in several languages. And now I will pass it over to you, Renuka and Rajneesh.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Vanakkam, good morning. As an introduction, at the event launching the Peace Education Program in Kyoto, Japan, Mr. Kinoshita-san, the Japanese host of the event, requested a presentation on the success of the Peace Education Program around the world. The first part of the event was a response to that request. As was stated during the presentation, the success of the Peace Education Program lies more in the participants' heartfelt response to the program than in the number it has achieved.
Nonetheless, we also have some numbers to celebrate. More than 500,000 people have participated in Peace Education Program. It is currently active in 60 countries and is available in 46 languages. Some milestones met recently include the launch of the program in Japan as well as Angola, Bolivia, Cuba, Haiti, Honduras, Mozambique, and the Philippines, where it has been exceptionally successful.
The most popular version of the course, the Peace Education Program, was recently translated into Japanese, Quechua, which was requested for the parents of students after Prem Rawat's event in Cusco, Malay, which was requested at the International Corrections and Prisons Association Conference in Singapore, Hebrew, and Dutch. It's currently being translated into other languages that have been requested.
And a Hindi Peace Education Program is about to be released. It is not a translation from English, but an original course in Hindi. और भारत से जुड़े मैं सारे प्रतिभागियों को ये बताना चाहूंगा, उनको ये जानकर बहुत खुशी होगी कि पीस एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम अब हिंदी में भी आने वाला है। जल्दी ये हिंदी में भी अवेलेबल होगा। इसकी सभी वीडियोस और सपोर्टिंग मटेरियल भी हिंदी में ही होंगी। The educational sector is currently the largest one for the Peace Education Program. An initial version of Peace Education Program EDU, which is specifically designed for students starting at age 18. It was piloted in several locations. After collecting feedback from facilitator and student participants, a revised version was produced in 2024. This version has shorter videos, more engaging activities, and a more comprehensive educator guide. The course is very popular in my country, India, and it is currently in translation into Spanish.
Several Memoranda of Understanding or MOUs were recently signed between the Prem Rawat Foundation and organizations that wish to implement the Peace Education Program. They include Union of Scouting in Madagascar, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology of the Philippines, Swayam Plus, Ministry of Education, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, Buenos Aires Penetrate Service, Argentina, Secretary of Education of Atlantico, Colombia, and Secretary of Education of Antioquia, Colombia.
There were numerous presentations of the Peace Education Program at training institutes and conferences around the world. In 2024, key conferences were supported by the Prem Rawat Foundation with materials, videos, coaching, and in some instances, financial support. In 2025, so far, presentation at 6 conferences and training have been supported.
Thank you, Renuka and Rajneesh. The schedule for this webinar will include half an hour from part 1 of the launch in Kyoto, Japan, including 4 videos from the Peace Education Program, a short video showing the response of Japanese participants, and a conversation between Hisashi Okamoto, and translator and facilitator, and Willow Baker, Peace Education Program Director. The presentation will be followed by 15 minutes of live Q&A from questions you submitted in advance, and we will try to incorporate additional questions that you can enter using the Q&A tool. After the Q&A segment, we will watch the 1-hour presentation by Prem Rawat in Kyoto, Japan. As a reminder, today's live webinar is in English only and will be replayed with subtitles in several languages. Now, let's watch the first part of the event in Kyoto, Japan.
皆様こんにちは。平和教育プログラムインターナショナルミーティングへようこそおいでくださいました。世界中で大きな成果を上げている平和教育プログラム、その素晴らしさと可能性について皆様に知っていただく機会になればと思います。開始にあたり一つお願いがございます。では今日の予定をお伝えいたします。平和教育プログラムはプレムラワット財団により提供されています。そのプレムラワット財団よりインターナショナルプログラムディレクターのウィロー・ベーカーさんが来てくれています。前半は何本か短いビデオを交えながら、では最初にビーコン、灯台という短いビデオを見ます。Now we watch the video titled Beacon.
You have the power. All you need is that determination. Don't look at the other people, look at yourself. From the strength of you, you can change a nation. From the strength of you, you can change your fortune. From the strength of you, you can create peace, tranquility, and prosperity for everyone. A beacon for the whole world to see and admire.
Welcome, Willow. Thank you very much for coming today.
ありがとう。
ウィローさん、今日は来てくださってありがとうございます。平和教育プログラムについていろいろ聞きたいことがあります。まず最初に、平和教育プログラムが世界中でどのように展開されているか、そしてどのような成果を上げているか少し お話聞きたいと思います。I'd like to hear about its achievement.
Arigato Okamoto-san. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm actually honored to be here representing the Peace Education Program of the Prem Rawat Foundation. And I really appreciated the question about achievements. When Kinoshita-san, the host of this meeting, announced the meeting, he spoke about wanting us to discuss the achievements and especially the potential of the Peace Education Program. So statistics-wise, the Peace Education Program has had 490,000 participants, which is nearly 500,000 people. And when you think about it, that is the equivalent of 1/3 of the population of Kyoto. So that gives you a hint already at what its potential is. It's active now in 58 countries, including Japan, and has been translated into 43 languages, including Japanese. The Prem Rawat Foundation has agreements or memoranda of understanding with various universities, departments and ministries of education, and departments of corrections in Asia, Africa, South America, basically across the globe. So those are statistical, logistical achievements. But for me, the real achievement is helping people discover themselves. The Peace Education Program helps people know themselves. It has brought hope and relief to people who have been ex-combatants and victims in civil wars in Sri Lanka and Colombia, to troubled members and leaders of gangs in South Africa and South America, and enhance the well-being of hundreds of thousands of students and teachers around the world, just to name a few of the achievements.
どのような人々が平和教育プログラムを楽しんでいるのでしょう。What kind of people are enjoying the program?
What kind of people enjoy the Peace Education Program? All kinds of people, people from all walks of life, teachers, students, professors, police officers, corrections officers, people at all different levels of education, people from huge cities and tiny villages, but the emphasis here, you might hear it, is the word people. The program wasn't designed for any particular group or culture of people. It was designed for people, for human beings, because it really touches the core of our humanity, the core of what it means to be a human being. And that's why it's been successful and popular cross-culturally and in diverse settings. I know that you know Okamoto-san, but for the benefit of everyone, the Peace Education Program is based on 10 universal themes. One is peace, and this isn't absence of war kind of peace or conflict resolution. It's personal peace. Appreciation is the second theme, and this is beyond appreciation for the people and things and places in our life. It's about learning to appreciate ourselves. Inner strength, self-awareness, clarity. Clarity helps us see clearly to steer around the obstacles in our life. Understanding ourselves. Dignity, because when we learn to know and respect ourselves, we respect other people and we treat them with dignity. Choice, we always have choice. Hope, and this isn't wishful thinking hope, it's really discovering the hope within yourself. And the 10th theme is contentment. So I know that there was interpretation, but perhaps Okamoto-san, you would like to say the names of those 10 themes in Japanese.
では日本語でも紹介します。平和教育プログラムには10個のテーマがあります。10回の講座、ワークショップがあります。そのテーマは平和、本当の価値を知り理解すること、自分の中の強さ、自己認識、明晰さ、理解、尊厳、選択、希望、満足、以上の10個です。平和教育プログラムが私たちの幸福な生活、ウェルビーイング、より良い人生にどのように関係するのかお話しいただけますか？
Well-being is a very important element, product, I don't know how to say it, of the Peace Education program, because the course focuses on knowing yourself, on the good in you, your inner strengths and resources. Participants and facilitators of the Peace Education program have remarked that they feel enhanced self-confidence, self-reliability, self-efficacy, hope, tolerance and empathy, personal empowerment, and personal responsibility. One of my favorite examples of increased well-being through the Peace Education program is its implementation in the Institute of Technology in Denmark, where the head of innovation there in Copenhagen saw that in his institution there was really good infrastructure, excellent education, wonderful research, but in his words, not so good in helping the student, not so good in taking care of the student. So he was very interested in bringing in the Peace Education program as another type of education that would help the students' well-being. He felt that they were so stressed from focusing on studying, and stressed in their life too, that he wanted to see them be more happier, more content. And as a result of the Peace Education program, the students who participated in it said that they felt a much greater balance between being a hardworking PhD student and a human being. So we'd like to show you a video now that focuses on this aspect of inner strength and well-being. I find it very powerful. I hope you enjoy it. It's from the Peace Education program, and it's called Defeat the Dragons.
There is a dragon. What form does the dragon come in? Oh, any form you like. Somebody you love, really being close all your life, and they pass away. Here it comes. Comes out of its den, breathing fire, breathing confusion, looking at you, showing the teeth. I get to eat today. Boss says you're fired. Here it comes. The dragon approaches, breathing fire. This is the weapon of the dragon, confusion. So, there you are. And you are going to be the most afraid when the dragon is in front of you. It's powerful. It's breathing fire. Confusion is just pouring out. Its teeth, enough to put fear in anybody. Its size. And all this is making you feel totally inadequate. And it is precisely in this moment when you need to draw your sword and engage the dragon. Sounds like fun, huh? And if that dragon smells fear in you, it will breathe even harder and show its teeth even more, and its claws. So, do you have enough confidence in yourself to be able to take on this dragon? So that's what you're gonna need. Because that dragon is so huge, there's not enough muscle power in you ever be able to defeat it. So the only way to win is show the dragon your strength. So it just backs down. But if you can show that strength, show that you are completely willing to fail without ever accepting failure. This, to that dragon, is the most intimidating thing. Any dragon, when it has understood, you're not going to back down. Because if you call upon your wisdom, upon your experience of you, that's one thing that that dragon cannot fight. It knows that. It will get defeated. It knows. It has never been able to fight that. Ever.
I imagine we've all felt that confusion or fear and really appreciate when we're able to find that inner strength. So here we are in Kyoto, and the Peace Education Program had, let's call it a soft launch at the end of August. There are, seated here, 5 trained facilitators of the Peace Education Program. They have conducted 3 courses with a total of 23 people so far. It's a soft launch. And this meeting, this international meeting, is actually the launch of the Peace Education Program in Japan. So I'm sure that everyone would be interested in hearing what were the impressions, what were the responses of the people who went through the Peace Education Program so far in Japan.
日本ではこの8月末に初めて平和教育プログラムが開始され、すでに何人かの方が受講されました。その方たちの感想をまとめたビデオがありますので、ご覧ください。Now we watch the video of Japanese people's impression.
とにかく楽しく最初から最後まで受けることができました。印象に残ってるところっていうか、受けてどうだったかっていうと、狼、いい狼と悪い狼、自分自身に対してかなり意識的になるというか、もう少し自分を見つめ直すというか、要するにいい狼に餌を与えるような、自分に対して意識的になったような気がします。
私最初ラワットさんっていう方を何も知らないまま、ここで何をやっているかも知らないまま来たんですけど、最初呼吸っていう本をお借りしてたまたま読んだ時にちょっと興味が持ってて、何やるかわからないままとりあえず来てみたっていう感じで、そのまま面白くて10回今回やらせてもらいました。そうですね、私平和外の世界をたくさんいろいろ知りたいなと思って、いろんな本読んだりとか、いろんな人とお話ししたりとか 暮らしてたんですけど、結局外の世界というよりも自分の中で何が起こってるのかっていうのをずっと知らないままだったんです。でも10回受けてみて全然難しい言葉もなくて、多分小学生でも理解できるような内容を淡々と10回やってきたっていう感じなんですけど、どんどん内側がなんていうのかな、理解が深まってきたというか、なんで改めてもう一度「呼吸」っていう本を読んでみた時に、呼吸って自分のが満たされてるかどうかを教えてくれる私にとってのいい相棒だなっていうふうに思っていて、で一個一個選択して人生を選んでいくのにも、そうですね、なんか外の世界を見て周りを見て決めるっていうよりも、自分の内側を見て決めていこうかなって思っています。
そう、原因が外にあるって思ってしまって、それに対して感情を揺れちゃう自分を何とかしなきゃって思ってただけれども、教育プログラムを受けて、そうじゃない。平和ってどんな外側の現象が起こってても、自分の心さえ平和を選択すれば、もうそこに平和が存在するんだっていうことを知れて、すごく穏やかになりました。
まずね、ラワットさんの話、プログラムのね、文章だけ読むと、これはどう言ってるんだろうと思ってたことを、ラワットさんの話を聞くと、とてもイメージが具体的に分かりやすく、であとですね、ラワットさんのこのエモーショナルなお話、手振りもすごいし、それで引き込まれますね。一人一人に話しかけるような感じで、たくさん大勢聴衆がいらっしゃるような映像の中で一人一人に話しかけるような感じで、とても自分に響くような言葉をいただいたと思います。
The peace education program has helped me find inner peace. I've learned to appreciate the simple things in life and to be more happy in the present moment. This program has helped me become more positive and peaceful, so I can handle further challenges better.
私もこれ10回受けたんですけど、で思ったんですよ。これをファシリテーターとして自分がやって皆さんの反応はどうかなとちょっと不安だったんです。自分が思ったように私もとても良かったんですけど、でも他の人はどうかなと思ったんです。皆さんが変わっていかれるというかね、自分自身に向き合うっていうのが楽しいんですね。で私は思ったんです。本当にみんな自分のことにすごく興味がある。本当は自分のことをとっても知りたい。毎回それをやっていくうちにもうバラエティーに飛んでますから、一回一回の楽しいんですよ。で徐々に集中して、そこに集中とそして楽しみがあって、でだんだん来るのが早くなる。で最後の方はもう本当に早くなって、もう時間よりも早く始まるんですね。で皆さんが一番最後の時は全員集まって、そしてもう今日でこれで終わりましたって私は思わず素晴らしかったですっていう言葉が出て、皆さんのシェアを聞いてると本当に自分も気がつかされることがたくさんあって、大変楽しくて毎回来るのが。でこれはどんな人も人間はこのプログラムを楽しめるようにこのプログラムを構築できてるんじゃないかと私は思います。
ではウィローさん、平和教育プログラムは 実際にどのように学ぶのか、そのラーニングアプローチをちょっと話していただけませんか。
Thank you, Okamoto-san. I really like this question, and I like the way you worded it. You ask about the learning approach, not about the teaching approach. I see several people in the audience who are teachers or have been teachers, and this approach is quite different. As Kaoru-san explained during the video, it's a facilitated course, and these facilitators are carefully and thoroughly trained not to teach peace, not to instruct people in how to appreciate, not to tell people why they should feel hope. It is about self-discovery. The workshops are designed to stimulate or promote critical and creative thinking, thoughtful interaction, and genuine reflection. But always the objective of the Peace Education Program is for an individual to know himself or herself. Rather than describing or defining personal peace or any of the other themes, the program enables and empowers a participant to arrive at his own understanding, at their own understanding, which is different for each one of us. So it's applicable to all levels of education. It has been effective with people who are illiterate. It has been effective with people who have higher levels of education. It can be adapted to those who are visually or hearing impaired. It really is for everyone, and it's designed for different learning styles as well. So there are various kinds of activities. Some are individual activities, some are group activities, some are workbook activities, and there are a variety of styles of videos. So some are animated shorts, like some of the ones we've seen. Some are Prem Rawat speaking at an event, as he will on this stage later this afternoon. Some are videos with people interviewing Prem Rawat, and some have a more artistic style. So quite a variety in the learning approach with different styles. And speaking of the artistic style, we'd like to show you another video from the Peace Education Program that is one of these artistic ones, and it's called The Seed.
We have been given an incredible opportunity, an incredible field, and it is the field of life. Nothing has been planted, but it is capable of growing anything. We're given seeds. But the opportunity truly is what we do with these seeds. There is a seed of love. There is a seed of understanding. And there is a seed of doubt. So every seed that you have has a particular quality, has something that it offers, which you may or may not like. If you planted the seed of doubt, there will be a tree. You will have nurtured it, obviously. What about understanding? What is that tree like? You may be surprised if you looked in your garden, you may not see one. But that is because it never got sown, that seed. But the beautiful thing is, it doesn't matter when you sow these seeds, they will sprout. So it's never too late. And not only the question is of sowing the seeds, but nurturing them, watering them, protecting them, taking care of them so that they grow. Somebody asks you, are you satisfied? And you can go, yeah, I have a good job. I have a good family. I have a good car. I have great friends. But are you content? So did you sow the seed of contentment? Did you sow the seed of understanding? Did you sow the seed of love? Love is a feeling that not only makes the one who feels this feeling, makes them feel good, but all those, not just one, but all those who are around also begin to feel this feeling. There's a saying, the world loves a lover. Nurture in your life kindness, and you will be rewarded with the gift of kindness. Sow the seed of love, and you will be rewarded with that most incredible feeling of love dancing in your heart. Sow the seed of understanding, and you will be rewarded with understanding. Sow the seed of clarity, and you will be rewarded with clarity. Sow those seeds that you want to sow, and nurture them, garner them, help them grow.
素晴らしいビデオなんです。で、私もファシリテーターとして何度かワークショップの進行役を務める機会がありました。で、その中で特に印象に残ったのはある年配の男性の言葉でした。その方はこう述べられました。このような内容、大切なものが私たちの社会から文化から失われつつある。こういった内容こそ義務教育の中に取り入れてほしい。そのように言われたんです。で、私はそれを聞いていて思わずもうなずいてしまいました。
So you mentioned this person who's talked about important elements that were missing or lost in culture, and that the Peace Education program highlighted those elements. We have heard similar comments from around the world about people saying that the Peace Education program brought them back in touch with their culture and with their community. And it seems that when a person is at peace with themselves, they find a more genuine respect for others and reconnect or connect for the first time with their culture and their community and want to give to their community. So the Peace Education program is about the individual, but helping the individual also helps the community. And we do have a video about that that has been, or related to that, that has been very popular with young people. It's called Citizens of the Earth.
The time has come for every citizen of planet Earth to take responsibility for the benefit of all mankind.
Your responsibility is to be human. What does it mean to be human?
What does it mean to be alive?
When you are in love with your life, with your existence, that's when you begin to respect other people's existence.
This is not the case in the world today.
This needs to change. And that fundamental change doesn't begin with the world out there.
It begins with every single human being on the face of this earth.
The time has come that we, the citizens of this earth, take the responsibility upon our shoulders.
It is not the governments, not the big institutions. It is not the police. It is not the army.
But it is each human being taking responsibility for this peace that is going to make a difference.
So, domo arigato, everyone, for listening to us. And we didn't prepare anything to say about the potential of the Peace Education Program, but I hope that you can feel it through what we've expressed and through the videos that we've shown from the Peace Education Program today.
And we have on the panel today for our Q&A, Willow Baker, the Director of the Peace Education Program, and Catherine Gavigan, Program Development and Training Manager. So if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them using the Q&A tool, and we'll do our best to answer as many possible. Or another option is always you can send your questions to the Peace Education Program Help Desk anytime, which is always welcome. So let's start off some of the questions that we received ahead of time. Let's see. All right, here's a question. How can I take the Peace Education Program? Willow, you want to answer that one?
How can I take the Peace Education Program? So if you don't know of a course in your area, please write to the Peace Education Program Help Desk, which is PEP or PEP at tprf.org, and we can connect you with someone. It's good to indicate your location and your preferred language when you write in.
Thank you, Willow. Another question. I believe there is another course Prem Rawat offers. Can you tell me more about that?
I can take that one if you'd like.
Sure, thanks.
So yes, Prem Rawat offers another course. It is called PEAK, Peace Education and Knowledge. It is an online self-paced course taken individually, whereas the Peace Education Program is a course that is facilitated in groups. PEAK can be accessed through premrawat.com under Path to Peace. So that's premrawat.com, Path to Peace. And like the Peace Education Program, it is offered free of charge.
Thanks, Willow. Good. Okay, next question. I have heard there is training for facilitators. And how can I sign up? Catherine, I think that might be for you.
Thanks, Jocelyn, and hello, everybody. So yes, TPRF has developed a facilitator training, a 3-module training to prepare all facilitators to be competent and comfortable to facilitate a peace education program wherever that opportunity presents itself. And the workshop focuses on 3 main areas. Firstly, the Peace Education Program learning approach, which is really simple. The approach allows people to come to their own understanding of the content and materials. And then we've got a focus on all the resources that facilitators have at their disposal to work as a facilitator. Currently, we're offering the training process to people who are already facilitating the Peace Education Program, but newly interested facilitators, for your first step, make sure you've been through the peace education process, and they're available in the different regions for you to sign up to. And then if you're interested in being a facilitator, then we've got an application process which will be available on the TPRF website in the next couple of weeks. So you can go to the website and you can sign up if you're really interested in being a facilitator, and we'll take you through the training.
Thank you, Catherine. Another question. How can I get involved in the peace education program other than being a facilitator? Willow?
Okay, sure. So there are several ways you get involved in addition to facilitating. One very important part is technical operator for delivering the course in person or virtually, course logistics and administration, and course reporter. So the course reporter enters data on the course, including how many people participated. We have a dashboard, and that's how the foundation knows that 500,000 people have participated in the course. Another role is entering responses to handwritten surveys into the online survey software we have. Volunteer opportunities are posted on tprf.org. Role descriptions are posted on the website with details on how to apply. So to find that, you go to tprf.org, get involved, volunteer. And there's currently a posting for tech operators in India and Nepal to sustain the rapid growth of the program there. So if you're on from India or Nepal and think that that's something that you would be able to do, please, you're welcome to apply.
Great. Thank you, Willow. And related question to earlier answer here. How do I get the newsletter, the TPRF newsletter?
Oh, you can visit TPRF website, tprf.org, to subscribe to the newsletter, and there you'll get updates, announcements of roles and jobs, but also information about humanitarian aid. And well, one of my favorite things is new videos on the peace education program.
Great. Okay, another question. There is so much bullying now. How can I bring the peace education program to my child's school?
I'll take that one. So firstly, we don't have a peace education program for primary school age students, but working in schools as I do, there are some excellent bullying programs that have been developed for schools that are used around the world and address this particular issue for parents and students. So the new PEP EDU course is designed for young people aged 18 plus.
Thank you, Catherine. And there's actually a related question to that. Can you say more about the course for young people and how I can get involved? Question.
So the peace education program that is the new one, which is for 18 plus students, our target audience is universities, international language schools, vocational colleges, schools of business management, any education organization where there are young people who have the opportunity to choose the peace education program, because choosing the program is a really important element and dimension of the program, being able to say, yes, I want to do this. So we have specific training for educators who want to use PEP EDU. So if you have a background in education, counselling, social work, and you're interested in using the PEP EDU materials, you can send your expression of interest to TPRF Help Desk, and we'll organise a PEP EDU facilitator training for you or your team. So just write into pep@tprf.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catherine. The next question, how can I start a course in my community and who can help me? I actually think I can take that one. There's plenty of support available to help you. There may be a team in your area who already are involved with the Peace Education Program who can help and that you can work with. And there are now 24 regional support representatives around the world who help people implement, organizations and individuals implement the program in their regions. So again, the Peace Education Program Help Desk can certainly connect you to one of the support representatives in your region, and they can help you get started and work with you. Is the Peace Education Program available in different languages?
I'll take that one. Yes, as Rajneesh said earlier, it's currently available in 46 languages. And I see several questions coming up. My guess is that these were people who joined the webinar perhaps after the introductory segment, but they're asking if the course will be available in Hindi. The answer is yes, but it's not a translation. It's actually a course in the Hindi language because, as many people on the webinar know, Prem Rawat is bilingual, English and Hindi. So this is a course in Hindi. It will be available very soon. People have also been asking, Jocelyn, I know it's hard to look at the questions as you're speaking, but how can someone who doesn't have a phone access Peak? So perhaps I wasn't clear enough when I said it. It's now available on a learning management system, also known as an LMS, where you can, if you have access to a desktop, if you have access to a computer, you can access it through premrawat.com under Path to Peace. You don't need to have a phone anymore. It's no longer just on a phone app.
Nice. Well, there is another question related to language. I want to translate the Peace Education Program into my local language. Maybe you could talk about that, Willow.
Yeah. Sure. So we have, how did we get to 40? It's actually 44 languages, 40 because 2 of them are English and Hindi, but 44 translated languages. Many of them were done through by volunteers. Some have been commissioned to translation agencies. But if you want to translate the course into your language, please write to the help desk and I will get in touch with you. I'll follow up with you because you'll need to decide whether you want subtitles or voiceover, and a dedicated translation project manager will work through you. So please be sure to contact us, get permission to translate it before you start, because it'll save you a lot of time and effort.
Great. Okay, another question. I think maybe the last question. I'm not sure about our...
There's one here I see a couple of. How can I be part of the facilitator development workshop team? And I see people raising their hands. If you have a question, we're not going to open it to audio. Please enter it in the Q&A tool, or also Jocelyn will let you know if we don't answer your question, how you can submit it.
So shall I answer that question?
I think so.
So at the moment, we have a team of around 40 facilitator development people within the different regions. And if you're interested and you have a background in facilitation, you're really experienced with the Peace Education Program, you've done a lot of facilitation with it, and you've got an education and training background, then send your details with a CV to the help desk or PEP at TPRF. And when we need some more team members for the facilitator development team, then your application will be there.
Thank you, Catherine. Great. Do you see other questions there, Willow, that we would like to address?
There are several questions, but they have already been answered. And then we're getting lots of thank yous too. So thank you.
Great. Well, there is one last question then that I'd like to answer, if I may. I missed giving a donation when I registered for this webinar. Can I still make a contribution? Well, yes, definitely. The Prem Rawat Foundation welcomes contributions anytime, and this can easily be done through the TPRF website, which again is tprf.org. And just go to the donate page, which is available in various languages. Or, of course, you can always write to the help desk and they will direct you. So thank you. Well, that is all the time we have now for this part of the webinar. Thank you very much for your questions. And if we were not able to answer your question today or you would like more information, please write to the Peace Education Program Help Desk, PEP@tprf.org. Well, I'm sure you are all looking forward to the next segment of this webinar. And now we will watch the 1-hour presentation by Prem Rawat in Kyoto, Japan.
それでは皆様、どうぞ大きな拍手でプレムラワットさんをお迎えください。
So it's wonderful to be here at the launch of the Peace Education Program for Japan. And in a way, Peace Education Program is not separated from essentially what the path of understanding is. In our lives, the biggest challenge we have, in my opinion, is to make a decision. And the decision is very simple. But at the same time, we have made it very complex. Don't be shocked when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. Don't. But this is a dilemma that has faced many over a very long period of time. Many people on the quest to have peace, which I can tell you most people on the face of this earth find elusive, to say the least. It's here, tomorrow it's gone. It's here, day after tomorrow it's gone. But you have to make a decision. And the decision is that you have to make. Is this real? Or the other world you live in, that real? You know, these days, they have virtual reality. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? And you might have even seen people wearing glasses. And there has to be somebody there for safety. No, it's very important. Why? Because in that virtual reality, when they are moving, everything that they are seeing is moving in such a way that that can actually trigger vertigo, and they can fall off. You understand that? Virtual is called virtual reality. Because it appears to be real, but it is not. A few years back, I was in England, and I was taken to a place where they were doing development, research and development on this virtual reality. And I was given the glasses, and I had the safety people all around. And the scene was, I was underwater. And the biggest whale went right in front of me, about this far away from my face. And all I could do was take a few steps back. Because everything that is being fed into my sensors that's a whale. And I'm underwater. So, the decision you have to make is this world real? Or another world that you haven't experienced, but you dream about it. You hear about it. You read about it. You read about it from people you don't actually know. You never saw them. You would be too old if you knew them. You personally never sat down with them. But you trust and believe everything they wrote. And they wrote about a world. They wrote about a heaven. They wrote about a hell. They wrote about karma. They wrote about all of these different things. Is that real? Or the world you live in real? Which one? Is this virtual and that real? Or that virtual and this real? You think that's an interesting question? Have you thought about that before? Yes, you have. Everybody has. Because it's so obvious. Which one is real? There is, in fact, a story of Raja Janak, King Janak from India, where in his dream, he has to attack to defend his kingdom, and he loses the war. And because he has lost, he's running in the jungle. He's running and running and running and running and running. It's raining, it's cold, and he's hungry. He's looking for somebody, something who could give him some food. He sees a little shack in the jungle. He goes over. And he says to the woman living there, "Can I have something to eat?" And she goes, "Well, I just finished the food I had made, but here's some rice, here's some lentils. Make yourself something, and you can eat it." The king accepts this. He collects wood to light a fire, and all the wood is wet. So you can imagine how hard of a time he is having. He's blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing, and all that's coming out of the wood is smoke, and it's getting in his eyes. And it's very bad, very uncomfortable. He's not only lost the war, he's lost his kingdom, he's lost his army, he's not having very good success in making the food. But somehow he succeeds. But the food is too hot to eat. So he finds a big leaf, puts it on the leaf to cool, and wait. Just then, 2 bulls come fighting with each other. And they take everything he has made and mix it up with the mud and destroy it. Now, this is too much for the king. So he truly, really starts to cry. Pain. You want no pain in your life, do you? And you think peace will make sure there is no pain. So, he wakes up. He wakes up. He looks around. There's his bed, royal bed, with velvet, gold pillars, his soldiers, his private soldiers waiting on him at night, guarding him. He's still the king. Hasn't lost any war. He's not in the jungle. No bulls have destroyed his meal. All the food he wants is at his beckoning call. But his nightmare was so real, he gets confused. Next morning, he says, "I have a question, and whoever can answer my question, I'll give him half my kingdom." What is the question? The question is, was that real? Or what I was dreaming was real? I'm asking the same thing. Little different. Do you have a virtual world that you live in? You do. In this virtual world, you make no mistakes. You are perfect. You may be misunderstood by other people. And when you die, you will be welcomed in heaven. And justice will be dealt out, and all those people who misunderstood you will be scolded, punished. The virtual world. But is it virtual, or is this world virtual? Which one is virtual? The reason why I ask, now listen to me carefully, the reason why I ask is do not expect peace in virtual world. You cannot. There is no room for peace in virtual world. There is no reason for peace in a virtual world. Because it's virtual, it's not real. Peace deals with reality. So which one is real? Do you like the subject matter? Does it inspire some thought in you? Are you confused? Or are you clear? It's very simple. This is very, very simple. You are not in a virtual world. Breath comes into you. This coming and going of breath in you is the biggest sign that says not virtual, real. Truly. Everybody alludes to the breath in some way. Today I was looking at one of the articles online, and it said how to meditate walking. Now, I will never teach anybody how to meditate when they're walking. You should all keep your eyes open. You should look. No traffic coming. This is what you should do. And you should enjoy walking. Look at the bamboo. Look at the moon. Yesterday, or it was the day before yesterday, it was a beautiful moon. And I said, look at the moon, it's so beautiful. And the person said, but it's not full. I said, I never said it was full. And does the moon have to be full to be beautiful? No. No, the worlds are different. If you go towards Saudi Arabia, What do they have on their flag? Moon and the stars. Right? In this world, the world we live in, we say heartwarming. Saudi Arabia, heart cooling, the moon, because they live by that. Their traveling happens at night, used to happen at night. Moon was important. Stars were important. Somebody told me that. And they are an Arab. So, different. For us, it's the sun. But for them, it's the moon. For you, which one is it? Virtual world or the real world? If you seek peace in this world, then this better be real for you. The day you were born, and every day that you are alive, and one day you have to go, that's your reality. The doctor tells you you have cancer. The doctor will tell you, you have this rare cancer. Well, of course cancer is rare. Not everybody is walking around with cancer. And, it's difficult to cure. Of course cancer is difficult to cure. But don't forget, one day you have to go. You have to. It's part of your reality, not a fiction. The fact that you are alive is a part of your reality. The fact that you were born is part of your reality. So there's another little issue. So let's conclude one thing. This is not a virtual world, therefore peace can be had. And therefore peace education program, yes, it works. Okay, so we can put that to rest. Now, in this real world, there's a lot of virtualities that we have created. This is my this is my this is how this is how this is who I am, this is who I am not, this is what should happen, this is not what should happen. There are people, and they write to me, "Oh, Prem Rawat, help me. I want to get married to this boy, and my parents are against it." What do you say? Should the people who are going to live their lives, should they agree to what their parents want? Or should the parents agree to what the children want? One absolutely is prophesizing calamity. Right? That's the parent saying this is never going to work. And the other one, How about we love each other? The problem with love is you never see the tail end of the love. At the same time that you see the head of the love, you never see the tail end of the love. When you're in love, you're in love, you are in love. And like they say, love is blind, you go blind. The parents will even say, look, it was successful. We didn't know each other. Husband and wife didn't know each other, got married because the parents wanted us to get married, and everything worked out fine. Maybe not. That's not the whole truth, that you're telling that everything worked out okay. It didn't work out okay. But all these little virtual realities that get created. As a father, I get faced with the same thing. All you have to say is, okay. My job was to let you know. That's it. You decide what you want to decide. My advice to you, anybody wanting to get married and don't have parental permission, make a ton of money. I'm serious. When you have a ton of money, your own house, your own car, your own everything, and the parents realize you're better off than them, do what you want. But when you're going to be dependent upon parents, that's a different story. Very different story. What are you dependent on? Are you dependent upon the reality of your breath or not? When you take your last breath, you will realize how precious these breaths are. You truly will realize how precious these breaths are that are coming into you every single day. They're not just precious because they come into you, they are precious because they are the only thing that can connect you with the divine. Have you heard about be present in the now? Have you heard about that? Have you also realized that 99.999999 to the power of 8,000, you are not in the present? You're either in the past or in the future. Right? Always, from morning till evening, except for when you are in tune with your breath, you are in tune with the divine. That's the only time you cannot be in the future and you cannot be in the past. You are in the present. You cannot take the breath that is yet to come in that moment. And you cannot repeat the breath if you've just taken to take it again. Can't. The power of breath, most people don't understand. I don't know how they can understand scriptures and not understand the power of breath. Because breath is so simple. All you have to do is feel it.
There was an inmate in South Africa, and he had just heard one of my events on the video where I'm talking about the breath. And then he went in his room, locked up, and he lay down, and he just started focusing on his breath. And this is what he had to say. He says, I was so filled with peace. What? No fire ceremony? No appeasing the deities above? No going to the holy temples? No. No. Because as soon as he synchronized with that breath, the divine was right there. And where there is divine, guess what? Peace just pours. And even though he was still incarcerated in his prison, he was filled with peace. The venture to understand what peace is truly understanding who you are. Peace Education Program. That's what it's called, PEP. Educating you about you. The education is literally peace, you have it. Joy, you have it. The divine, you have it. Life, you have it. Do you know you need to be educated on that? You know why? I'll tell you why. It's because all day long, you go around going, this is what I don't have, this is what I don't have, this is what I don't have, this is what I don't have. You see a beautiful watch in the window? I don't have that. You see a beautiful car on the road? I don't have that. I mean, there's no question about it. All the people who are sitting in a bus, overcrowded bus especially, they look at the cars on the road and they're only saying one thing, I wish I had one of those. Then I wouldn't have to be in this crowded bus. But all our life, I don't have, 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 I don't have. But when you come to the topic of peace, aha, it's different. You do have, you do have, you do have, you do have, you do have. And you're fortunate. Your good fortune isn't somewhere else, it's with you. The day you understand what that divine is, that's the source of your existence. Now, somebody may not have told you this, but I will tell you. Without the divine, you wouldn't exist. Sorry. You really would not exist. Today, we were talking in the car how frail everything is. We live on earth. What is it? You know what it is? It's compacted dirt. Dirt.
Nobody could stand on it in its very airy, dusty phase. But when it gets compacted, you could build super sky structures on it and it'll take it. What are these comets running around? Little bit of dirt, mostly water, little bit of ice that's just frozen. That's all that shiny stuff out there. More stars in the heavens. More stars in the heavens than there is the grain of sand on the beaches. Can you imagine that? We just happen to live in a place, this galaxy, which is very quiet. This is this quiet corner. Not too many things go buzzing around. Otherwise, this earth would have been obliterated a long time ago. It's still around. And this is, you exist, you can experience, you can see, but this is the basics of the peace education program. It's being launched in Japan so that more people and more people can take the benefit of it. And there needs to be an understanding of how this helps people around the world. When peace education first started, it was mostly in prisons. Mostly in prisons. And now it's mostly in educational facilities. And it's not like it has gone this way by this falling. No, this is increasing and so is this. And everywhere, kids are learning the value of peace in their lives. In prisons, the people incarcerated are learning the value of peace in their lives. You know, they have an easier time. You know why? Because this virtual reality stuff, they understand very clearly. Because they are in the prison and they have to obey those rules. They have to get up at a certain time. They have a certain time that's free. They're going to eat at a certain time. They're going to exercise at a certain time. They're going to have their dinner at a certain time. They're going to go to sleep at a certain time. And guess what they dream about every day? Of getting out. But they're not out. They're in. And they need peace now. The question is, do they get it? And the answer is, yes, they do. Yes, they do. So, peace is a reality. Where peace education program is going to be taught, peace is a reality. Peace is not looked as some theoretical thing. This is what is so difficult for people to understand. And I was just in Korea. My first time.
Kind of felt like it. And I was talking with the professor. And he gets it. Because the way science works, see, everybody wants scientific proof. But the way science works is if the frog jumped 36 times, the science can say 36 times this frog has jumped. Does that mean it'll jump 37th time? No. It may not jump. But 36 times it did. So does peace exist? Or doesn't exist? For peace education program, the issue isn't what is the result. The issue is, do you feel peace? It's not some numbers game. Do you feel peace? And when are you going to feel peace? The more you know yourself, the easier it's going to be. And the more you are going to be in tune with your breath, the more you're going to feel peace. Will peace make you immune to anger? Very good question. That's the assumption. Trains have 2 tracks, right? One on this side, one on this side, right? And it rides on both. Do you think there will be a time when the train will abandon one? If they say, there's a saying, and the saying goes, if 2 people agree at the same time, one is redundant. So if 2 tracks are always there, one is redundant. Train needs both the tracks. In this life, you need true understanding of who you are, and you need to have a true understanding of how to access the breath and focus on it. Can you have peace without knowing yourself? No, I do not believe so. You need to know who you are. And can you have peace without knowing how to access the focus of that breath? No. You need both those things. And if meditation while you're walking fascinates you, you're not ready for peace. You are ready for a circus. Go watch a circus. There all unusual things happen. All unusual things happen. Motorcycles go upside down in a globe. Lions open up their mouth and the person puts their head in their mouth. Lions jump through a ring that is all lit up in fire. That's what you're ready for. Now, I know that's going to shock a lot of people. How can a man of peace be talking like that? I am a person of peace. And that peace doesn't make you immune to anger. Anger will be there. Fear will be there. They're put in there for your own good. But of all things that could be put inside of you, of all the things that could be put inside of you, guess what? The divine placed itself in you. And to know that is the greatest achievement of your existence. And this is the real one. This is not virtual. Some people have made it virtual by saying that there is another one, and that's real. This isn't real, that is real. And they point up. In India, I had he's dead now, but he was a Pandit. So he knew how to do all that, all the ceremonies and this and that. A priest, kind of, but they're called Pandit. They can be married and so on. So he flew from India to Australia for one of my events. And I asked him, I said, so did you see the heaven and everything else? Because it's described as just beyond the clouds. So I said, I'm sure you flew beyond the clouds. Was there anything like that there? He goes, no, I didn't see anything. Aha. What's going on? So, anyways, I'm very happy that we are here on the momentous occasion of Peace Education Program being started in Japan. So, thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to ask myself some questions. What can the team here in Japan do to help with your vision of spreading your message and growing the Peace Education Program? Is this question to Prem Rawat? Yeah? I'll ask him if I see him. The only time I get to see him is like in the morning. He's standing in front of the mirror. What can the team here in Japan do to help with your vision? The answer is always in the question. What can the team here in Japan help? How can the team in Japan help? Not do. The do is very dangerous. Do is dangerous. This is what kills the pilots when they do. Instead of following a checklist, doing what's supposed to be done. But when they start pushing buttons and doing those things, that's when the plane crashes. First of all, I have always said this and I will always say this. Do you like the message? Yes, no, yes, no. And the reason why I ask that is that when your favorite song comes on the radio, what do you do to the volume? You turn it up. Why? You already know the song. Why do you turn it up? You like it. You turn it up so others can hear it. Others can enjoy it. When you cook at home, when you cook and you're enjoying cooking, what do? You share. Even if it is the raw cookie dough. Here, taste this. Only if you're enjoying. So what is important is for you to enjoy. Enjoy this message, then you're going to want to share it, spread it. And here's a beautiful way to be able to do that. Don't throw your age into it. Don't go, oh, I'm too old now. We're living in a world where all you're doing is just moving your fingers. And things are happening around. And nowadays, with all the AI and everything else, you just talk a little bit, and that's it. Things happen. So it's not like you have to go run a marathon. You don't. Most Japanese people expect to pay for things and don't value things that are free. Do you have any advice for us on how we can approach institutions about running the PEP? Well, you need to get together with TPRF, but charge them. And take the money and use it somewhere where people truly cannot pay for it. There's a big world out there. There's a lot of people who cannot pay for it. And a lot of people don't even want to get involved with PEP is because they know they can't pay for it. They're like, well, how expensive was this something like that going to be? And when they hear Japanese are paying for it, they'll go, okay, let's party. No. Our target should be to spread the message, not make things free or not free or this or that. That's not the purpose of it. I completely understand that in Japanese culture, if it's free, it's not worth anything. That, and it's true in other cultures too. In fact, long time ago, my father had a bill printed, a little piece of paper. It was called a bill, but it's a little piece of paper printed with something like 100 or 10 questions and answers to them. So he was very proud of it. So, wow, this is great. So he passed it to everybody at the event free. When he was driving out of the facility, he saw everything lying on the floor, on the ground. People had thrown it because it was free. Why keep it? It's free. After that, he started charging 10 paisa, which is nothing for it, and no more on the ground. So that wisdom has been running for a long time. I think the peace education program can be beneficial for anyone, but perhaps it is particularly beneficial for young people. What do you think? No, it's for everybody. It's absolutely for everybody. It's water. So yeah, do young need water? Yes. Old need water? Yes. Dehydrated need water? Yes. And those who are already swimming in the water need water? Yes. Everybody needs water. Water everywhere, but this is the thing of what Kabir said. The fish are thirsty in the water. It makes me laugh every time I hear that. So yes, everybody needs water. And peace is like that. We all need peace in our lives, in our existence. And one of the things that's not here, and I will tell you, and I'm a very firm believer in this. When the Wright brothers made the airplane, did it crash? What do you think? You mean it didn't just take off and become a 747 and the next thing you know it's running a service between Singapore and San Francisco? No. I mean, I have an app that I use, and it's for pilots, and it shows you weather, shows you your airway, shows you everything you need to know, and it shows you traffic. So you see some of these airplanes, you can touch the airplane and find out from where to where it's going. And you look at them, and some of them, they're on their way from Delhi to Chicago. And it's like, wow, that's all the way around the world this thing is going. And that first flight was just a few feet. You know why airplanes are so successful? Because before those airplanes, land you had to cross on a chariot, a wagon, or something like that. The ocean you had to cross on a ship. But the airplane could cross land, ocean, and get you there. Don't ever be afraid of making a mistake. Don't. In South Africa, where I'm going, South Africa, there is these people who have taken on the challenge of PEP, and they're taking it into the community. And where half a person receiving knowledge was news, now thousands of people are receiving knowledge. It's amazing. But all the people who are involved with PEP meet, talk, communicate, not gruntled communication. Oh, right, he's doing this and he's doing that. No, they talk. If they have problems, they talk. And same thing needs to happen here. You need to talk. You need to communicate with each other. Don't wait for the car to crash and then say, oh, today we almost hit a car. And I screamed before, because I've got a good periphery high vision, so I could see this thing coming. And the driver stopped. He didn't see it, but I saw it. So you don't wait. Oh, he'll see it. Everything will be okay. He'll see it and he'll stop. The dunk, and then, oh! No, what's the point? No point. Communicate first. Say, if you have a fear, say it. If you don't have a fear, say it. Both ways. If everything is good, say it. If it is not good, say it. That is communication. Communication isn't only when things are wrong. But when things are good, you communicate. Can you imagine how many families would be so happy if the parents, mother, father, communicated when the child does something right, instead of only when the child does something wrong? Can you imagine how good you would actually feel if a police officer pulled you over and gave you a certificate of driving on speed and well? No, would you be proud of that? Now, how many of you have imagined that happening in your virtual world instead of just getting pulled over because you were speeding? So, yeah, we all appreciate when things are right. It's going good. Captain comes on, flight is progressing, well, we will be there 20 minutes before time, It's good. Instead of him coming, we're all gonna die. That's not appreciated. But yeah, things are going good. That's necessary. That is very, very necessary. So I hope you take this to heart and do well in Japan. You have sources, you have availability of TPRF. All right, thank you very much.